This nibble is from episode 725, The Phantom Shane. Enjoy. Okay.
So people that are looking at the YouTube version of this, they will see I'm standing right next to the stairs in the main building of the Digsite. It's non-interactable. You can't go up the stairs.
That's weird.
Yeah. And I think that is sort of there was this time where like people were complaining a lot about the fact that Jagex wasn't adding any examine texts to like objects, and that sort of like part of the RuneScape lore always used to be like these tiny little things, right? Like the little like when you use a herring on a tree, like the Easter eggs that come from that, and like the tiny little things. And every time they do an area rework, it feels like we lose some of that. And like in this area, it's the same thing. Like if I look at like the big building, like the main building on a dig site, like there are some things that are examinable, but like most of the things are not. Like there's
Oh,
stuff on the table, like maps, I can't examine them. The stairs, I can examine them, and they will say for going up and down, like except for you can't go up. It feels like aesthetics are taking precedence over function in this case. Like the area doesn't feel as rich anymore because like so much of it is now set pieces rather than a world you actually interact with. And I never made a big problem out of the examine text, but putting stairs in my face that look like I can go up them and then make them completely non-interactable, that sort of rubs me the wrong way.
yeah, I can see. I mean, I see where you're coming from on that. Examine text is not something that I've particularly used a lot in the past, but I could see how,
Me neither.
you know, a lorehound or someone like that would, really appreciate that. So I'm wondering, you think they'll come back through and maybe add some examine text to things later?
I doubt it, especially like an area like the dig site. I don't think it's important enough to give it like that layer of depth, and I think it's sort of a good enough approach and move on to the next area. And I guess that's sort of like what would you rather have Jagex do? Like that they go through all these areas and add more stuff, or that they pick like a new area and make it look pretty and uniform?
I mean, for me, I like this is going to sound weird, but I actually like when they do the visual stuff just because I don't, like I said, I've never interacted much with Examine. It pops up in the chat box. That's just hard to deal with. And
Hmm.
um, I like to look at some, I like it like being right there, but I didn't take into account those stairs. That is not, that's, that probably needs to go or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
I don't
mean,
know what you do with that.
yeah.
We got a
My
stairway
my
to
thinking
heaven
my
here.
thinking was that Jagex was like, okay, we have an exam center. That's like half of examine, so we only need to add some interactable stuff and we're done. But no,
I guess that, I mean, I can see where they're coming from on that anyway.
yeah.
But I
It's
get
probably
your
a
point.
small group of people that actually do check all these examine tasks, examine texts. But yeah, when looking at like things like big stairs, it's a bit lazy to make it not interactable. Like a lot of houses in Falador and Varric have an upstairs, and there's nothing there. Like it feels like a small effort
Mhm.
to add an upper story to this, especially since they don't really seem to be bothered by adding examine tests to stuff anyway.
Yeah, that's no. You're totally right about that. It probably wouldn't have taken much, and it wouldn't. I don't know why. I don't know why that wouldn't have been done.
Hmm.
When you're making things more uniform to begin with, that seems. It does seem like an
Yeah.
odd choice. Yeah.